Good evening, my darling batlings. I hope everyone's had a fantastic day. I see you there in chat, Chuck. Welcome. Thank you so much for showing up nice and early today. I'm joined tonight by JKR and Kilometers Above.
Kilometers Above.
Got nothing to say, Kilometers?
Yeah, you need to work on having an opening bit.
Look, okay. So here's the thing.
Look here, look, listen.
See, here's the thing. They say I can talk people to death. Weaponized conversation, they say. I don't know, I say. Sounds a bit pretentious. Maybe so, they say. But you can modulate the timbre of your voice so it falls into step with the pulse of the listener's spark. Well, I say, there is that. And by gradually lowering your voice, they say you could coax the spark into giving up. That's what they say. What do you say?
So you're saying you bore them to death. Gotcha.
Well, fuck you too. No, that was Tarn, actually.
All right, tonight we're starting a new retrospective, which includes me going into some unseen territory because I didn't really play past a specific point in this saga, which is Crash Bandicoot, or Cash Banooca, as some British people know him. And by some British people, I mean a British person.
Yeah.
Good old Daddy Caddy.
Us.
Caddick in your ass. That is a thing he said in one episode.
Yeah.
Anywho's it. Let's switch on over here. Playing the PS1 version to start us off. And yes, I will be playing through the Insane Trilogy at some point. I'm going to be playing through these in a chronological order. I really had trouble rolling the R's there for a second. Probably not going to play any of the Game Boy Advance games or like handheld games in general. Unless there's enough interest in it. But yeah.
For a minute there.
Cash Banooca.
For a minute there, I read Croc, Legend of the whatever it was.
Legend of the Gobos.
I read that as Booba.
You're thinking about crocodile boobas? Didn't think you were scaly.
No, that's not me.
Well, you are the one who thought of it.
Look, okay, I've been told today. This is a weird story, by the way. I think the bank is possessed.
Wow, that is weird.
Because my coworker, when I was like doing some finishing stuff today, said my eye went almost into the back of my my head.
That doesn't mean that the bank is possessed. That just means that it's gradually killing you through boredom.
I mean, yes, it was actually probably. And my eye's been hurting all day since that, so...
One of my favorite random bits of trivia about Naughty Dog as a company is that in one of their first games, which is Rings of Power for the Sega Genesis, they hid an Easter egg that slid by the sensors, which was like, if you input a button combination on the opening company logos, you'd see a topless woman.
What?
I'm not making that up. How's the PS2 doing? Have you found out what was wrong with it? It's just the disk drive starting to give way due to age, you know, as these old consoles do. I'm looking to try and get one of the fat PS2 models so I can just bypass the disk drive entirely and use a hard drive.
This Bandicoot will be my general.
Will be my general, and he will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination.
Behold, the original voice for Cortex, very different than what he would come to be.
Yep.
This is when Brendan O'Brien was doing almost all of the voices, instead of almost all of them except for Coco, Aku Aku, and Cortex. In this one, he voices everyone except for Aku Aku. And by except for Aku Aku, I mean the Ooga Booga sound. Because Aku Aku wouldn't have any voice dialogue until Crash Bandicoot Warped. Also, I found that screen by accident as a kid, because unlike all the other Crash games on the PS1, like, when you start the game, it just puts you into the game. You have to wait on the title screen to see the story.
Yep.
The only other Crash game that did that was Crash Team Racing.
Never actually played Crash Team Racing.
It's pretty damn good. I like it better than Mario Kart.
I mean, I'm not one to play a lot of racing games. I play Mario Kart only when my friends are online. That's about it.
It helps that the single-player mode is like an actual single-player adventure instead of just races.
Yeah.
Like, races are, you know, the main thing you do, but it's got like a hub world to explore. It's got side challenges to complete. It's got the standard Crash Bandicoot thing of like hiding the true ending behind getting all the collectibles. It's got boss battles.
Yeah.
And by boss battles, I mean races against boss characters. The other game that put a topless woman in was Crash Team Racing. No, I didn't. You're behind if you're talking about the topless woman thing. I was talking about having the story play not when you start the game, but when you wait long enough on the title screen. Although speaking of women who people want to see topless, Tawna Bandicoot in this game, you know, the girlfriend that Crash is trying to rescue, the reason she disappeared from the series for so long after this entry is because the head of Universal Interactive at the time really did not vibe with Tawna's design and fought against her at every turn because she was explicitly modeled to be, you know, sexualized. Damn it, missed out on the gem there because you can only get them on one life in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is an extra life.
Yes, I do need an extra life. I've got 6 of them now, but I could always use more. And speaking of extra life, I hope you've got the link prepared this time. You don't, do you?
About that. Nope. It's fine, I'll get it.
Okay, that time, okay, so like, it's hard to go back and play Crash 1 after being so used to the physics in the later games, because Crash is like a heavy motherfucker here. He like has momentum, unlike the other games. And when he's in midair, you don't have like very good control of him. Like, you can't just, like, nimbly move him around in midair like you can in Crash 2 and especially Crash 3. He has, like, a lot of weight to him and a lot of inertia. He fights against trying to move him, like, in the opposite direction. Also, the fact that, unless you're like me and you're using a third-party controller that emulates D-pad inputs, in non-analog mode, you are stuck using the D-pad to control them. It's not compatible with analog controls. Due to, you know, predating it by like 2 or 3 years. So I got all the crates. I got all the crates, but I won't get the gem because I died.
Link is in chat.
Yes, thank you. This is also a game that has a weird resolution, which is why I'm glad that I have the RetroTink 5X Pro to upscale it, because one of its settings like crops off the top and bottom chunks of the picture. So like if I didn't do that, you'd be seeing like these big black bars on the top and bottom of the screen. Because like a little back in the day before, you know, in the early 3D days, a way that some crafty devs, like not just Naughty Dog, they did that for all their PS1 games, but also Insomniac did that with the Spyro games, and Rare would do it with Banjo-Kazooie, is in order to squeeze out more polygons without impacting performance and, you know, being able to have more stuff on screen without having to mask the draw distance with fog, they would not render anything on the top and bottom, like 8 or so lines of the picture, which meant, since those areas were left intentionally blank, they could render more stuff on screen without impacting the frame rate. Nowadays, no one does that. But that's why if you play a lot of, like, you know, if you play any of the PS1 Crash or Spyro games on a modern TV, you're going to see black bars on the top and bottom of the screen. Those would have been hidden on an old CRT by the overscan area, which is basically like, you know, you didn't see the full picture on an old CRT TV because the bezel of the TV, you know, that like frame around the screen, covered up part of it. And game developers at the time would take that into account. Hey, John Dacre. Thank you, Psionic X. I was just, you know, I've been in a bit of public access. I've been in a bit of a public access mood lately. I've thought about, like, if I can find some good, safe for Twitch public access stuff, maybe doing a stream where we watch some of that and just look at the weirdness of public access. My dream being to find the whole show that gave us John Dacre. I've only seen one public access show in its entirety, and it's because it only aired one time, and it got the creator of it in trouble with the FCC. As well as charged with obscenity by the local city council. It was a public access show in Arizona called The Great Satan at Large. And, like, it was trying to be as, like, morally objectionable as possible. Like, the dude was pretending to be Satan, saying all this blasphemous stuff. His co-hosts were a guy taking constant rips from a bong who was claiming to be Buddha, and a jester who was like, he had his hand in his pants and was miming like he was, you know, cranking his hog the whole time. They had like BDSM and porn playing in the background. Like, when I say in the background, I mean like the background of the show was that.
Oh, jeez.
They took in like live callers and would like use non-TV friendly language back and forth at each other. Basically everything that can and will get you in trouble with the FCC. So it only aired one time, and the guy got did some prison time for obscenity charges. And it used to be on YouTube until it got taken off. But I'm sure it's on the Internet Archive, as most things are. I recently found out RoboCop 2 is on the Internet Archive. So, you know, there's a way for me to watch that movie finally, since I don't want to sign up for HBO Max.
Yep. That's
Which,
fair.
did you know that that Max is changing its name back to HBO Max?
Yeah, I heard about that from Furret.
It used to be HBO, then it was HBO Go, then it was HBO Max, then it was Max. Now it's going back to HBO Max. John Oliver made fun of it on one of the semi-recent episodes of Last Week Tonight about how his business daddy can't decide on a name for their terrible streaming service. And apparently he's not going to get in trouble because he had a note from one of the representatives for Warner Brothers Discovery where they wanted him to make fun of it. Like they were waiting on seeing how he was going to make fun of the fact that they were changing the name yet again. So, did you know that Crash Bandicoot had a sort of unofficial working title while it was in development before they settled on a name for the character? I say unofficial working title because it was never going to be called this, and it was never, like, referred to it in, like, official development documents. It's more so just a nickname that the developers had for it. Because, you know, Crash Bandicoot was following the lead of Sonic the Hedgehog in creating a animal mascot platformer, right?
Okay.
And because a lot of the game is spent viewing the character... I see the new Resident Evil trailer. Yes, I did. I'm interested in it. I'm glad that's coming out next year, because this year's pretty stacked for releases. But anyway, because you spend a lot of Crash Bandicoot viewing the character from behind, their nickname for it in development before they settled on a name for the character was Sonic's Ass Game. Oh, and also, Universal fought with them at every step about naming the character Crash Bandicoot. Because Universal, as the publisher, thought that they knew better on how to market a furry character mascot. Because, you know, their cartoons outside of Woody Woodpecker are so well known and beloved, right?
They have others aside from Woody Woodpecker?
They do. I think that answers the question. But they insisted, until, like, eventually they caved, that Crash be named Willy Wombat.
Oh, jeez.
Because, you know, in the radical tude-filled 90s era, to compete with the attitude-filled Sonic the Hedgehog, you want your character to be named something cutesy, like Willy the Wombat.
Crash Bandicoot honestly just sounds better anyway.
Yeah. Plus, it makes more sense for, like, the inspirations that Naughty Dog were drawing from for the overall design and vibe of Crash Bandicoot, which was they were drawing inspiration from the old, like, Warner Brothers cartoons, especially Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. That's also why Crash is silent.
Yeah.
Apart from, you know, whoa! Or in this game, da-da-da! Or uh-oh!
Yep.
I remember this when I used to play Crash, the whole...
Yeah, I hate the boulder stages in this game because since this game's limited to only 8 directions of movement instead of full analog control, it's very easy to get, like, misread inputs and to die through no fault of your own. Seeing the old RPD once again. Yeah, seeing Raccoon City in general once again. Willy Wombat sounds like a mid-50s Looney Tunes character. No, it sounds like a mid-60s Looney Tunes character from after production switched over to DePatie Freeling Enterprises, and they discontinued all the classic Looney Tunes characters in favor of new characters like Cool Cat and Bunny and Claude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making that up. You can watch, if you haven't already, watch the docu-series on YouTube, The Merry History of Looney Tunes by Kyoto Video, I believe it's called. They do a lot of deep dives into the history of the classic Warner Brothers animation era. Snagglepuss was Hanna-Barbera, not Looney Tunes. That was also Hanna-Barbera, Top Cat. Not much of a distinction nowadays because they're all owned by the same company.
Yeah. Back in the day.
One of my favorite bits of Looney Tunes lore in terms of like behind the scenes stuff is that legendary animator Tex Avery, probably familiar with him by name at least. He bullshitted his way into getting a director's job at Warner Brothers Animation when he had never worked on a cartoon in his life. Like, he just lied about having experience as an animation director, and they believed him because, you know, theatrical animation was still a new thing at the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I gotta find this old meme that I had. There was a meme I found a while back. It was basically reinventing Crash Bandicoot as a Maverick from Mega Man X.
Oh, that's cool. I would love to see that. Crash Bandicoot also sounds like it could be a Mega Man X Maverick name.
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. It was literally just fake it and then make it. There was no until. Yeah, if you've never played the original PlayStation Crash Bandicoot, you'll find that saving is more of a luxury than more of a privilege than a right, because in order to save, you either A, have to complete a ton of bonus level, or B, you have to get a gem. You cannot save otherwise. Like right now, I missed out on saving because I fucked up that bonus level, and you're not allowed to retry them. And part of the reason I fucked up that bonus level is because, for some baffling reason, in the 2D sections, you're not locked to a 2D plane. So if you accidentally hit a diagonal, you can and will just fall off the platform because you're still in three-dimensional space. Like you can just fall off the front or back in a 2D section.
Oh,
they wouldn't fix that until Crash Bandicoot 3.
Ugh.
Which, you know, I can't hold it against them too much, because 3D platformers were literally brand new then. It was, like, it launched basically alongside Super Mario 64 and Bubsy 3D as the first wave of 3D platformers. So, nobody knew what they were doing, except for Nintendo, and I would argue they still didn't quite get what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of those people that will argue that Super Mario 64 is not one of the greatest 3D platformers of all time because Banjo-Kazooie is better in every way. This is also a boss fight that is piss easy in the North American and European versions, but is harder in the Japanese version. It's all because in the North American and European versions, Papu Papu only has 3 hit points. Whereas in Japanese version and in the Insane Trilogy, he has 5. One of the things I like about the presentation of the original Crash Bandicoot, like, don't get me wrong, I love the warp room setup that 2 and onwards would use, but with the world map that you use in this game, you not only get a visual indicator of how far you've gone from the starting point, but which is just like something I love that Naughty Dog used to love to do back when they used to love to make fun games.
Yep.
But like, as you progress through the islands, you start seeing the environments change to match, like, how much closer you're getting to Cortex's lair. Like, everything's lush jungles and, like, native fortresses now. But as you get closer to Cortex's lair, you start seeing like ruins and rivers and waterfalls, and eventually all the natural beauty gets sucked away in favor of like laboratories and engine rooms, and just machinery. It's a neat bit of visual storytelling. Super Mario 64 wasn't perfect until its DS release. Don't at me, it's true. I won't at you because I've never played the DS version. I didn't play Super Mario 64 until the Wii came out because I didn't have an N64 growing up, and it wasn't easily available on other platforms until then. And it's definitely me being spoiled by later platformers that improved on what Super Mario 64 laid down, but I was unimpressed by Super Mario 64 when I first played it. Mostly with how dog shit the camera is. Like, people rag on Sonic Adventure for having a camera that gets stuck on things, but give a pass to Super Mario 64, which has a much worse camera.
I mean, Super Mario 64 at least gave us some memorable memes, like, "So long, ¿qué pasó?"
Yeah, it was also the first mainline Mario game to have Charles Martinet voicing Mario. He had voiced him in a couple edutainment games and trade show expos before then, but in terms of, like, proper Mario stuff, it was Super Mario 64 that started it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, hear what happened to Peach's voice actor?
Which one?
Peaches.
Peach's the one before World Tour, or the racing one, the new racing one.
No.
They did not tell her that they recasted her, Peach.
Didn't they just recast everyone with that Mario game that came out a couple years ago that I forgot, Wonder? And you're saying that they recast Peach again one game later?
No, they didn't do Peach for Wonder. They only did Mario and Luigi, to my knowledge.
And Daisy.
They replaced Charles Martinet. Okay, and Daisy. So thank you I didn't know that one. But no, yeah, they didn't replace Peach. And I just found out recently when they came out with the new Mario Kart that they had recast Peach, and the original voice actress didn't even know that she had been replaced.
Yeah, that's pretty commonplace that voice actors aren't informed when they're being replaced, and I hate that keeps happening. If I had a nickel for every time that a Sonic voice actor... Excuse you. If I had a nickel for every time that a Sonic voice actor... Sonic series, I mean, was replaced or intended to be replaced without being told that they're being replaced, I would have enough nickels to buy myself a nice Ghirardelli chocolate bar.
Yeah,
It's not that often that happens, but it happens often enough that it's irritating to the Sonic voice cast. Like, the Adventure voice cast wasn't informed that they were being replaced by the 4Kids cast, and the 4Kids cast weren't informed that they were being replaced by the current cast. The only reason that Mike Pollock still voices Eggman post 4Kids era is because his agent informed him that he was that they were auditioning new people to play Eggman. What are you gonna do to that boar, Crash? Don't give me that look.
Hey, he giving you that look, all right.
Seriously, Crash has some of the best faces in this game, mostly down to them looking like really dopey. Which, is fitting for the kind of character Crash is. But, also, it's got that like, early 3D low poly charm from before they figured out how to work within their own limitations. Like, Crash's model in this game, any of the faces it makes, really give off that vibe of, like, no thoughts, head empty.
Yeah, I can see that. Our trusty steeds family members.
That's always the biggest burn, missing a single box.
Good job, but you missed one.
Hey, you missed, pal. I still need to get that as a sound alert. But I'd probably have to rip it myself because it's such an obscure sound.
Oh, jeez.
It's from a old PC adventure game called Darkseed 2.
Ow.
Which I've never played myself because it's not compatible with modern Windows in any real reasonable way. But I've seen a long play of it with the guys from Retsupre commentating over it, and it's just batshit insane. Like, it's the kind of adventure game where you're not gonna figure it out without a guide because it requires you to do so much insane bullshit that you would never think to do. And also, it doesn't help that the protagonist of the game is just the biggest fucking unlikable whiny loser.
Oh, jeez.
And the biggest dope, too. He doesn't even win in the end.
Oh, jeez.
Speaking of old PC adventure games, one that does run on modern Windows, thanks to it getting a re-release by Night Dive. Although this one isn't like a full-on remaster, it's just running within DOSBox, which, you know, is good enough. I need to stream Harvester sometime. That's supposed to be really interesting and really weird. And also really violent and really disturbing. So, you know, right up my alley.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of it, and I got a game over where I accidentally got shot by the guy by the disembodied torso of a general that was guarding the nuclear weapons silo, who thought I was trying to I was like trying to sneak in and launch the nuclear weapons. So he shot me and then launched the nuclear weapons.
Okay.
It's a weird game.
I can tell.
And it's all set inside of like a twisted version of 1950s picturesque suburbia. Except you don't know how you got there. Or where you are.
Oh, lovely.
But everyone knows you.
Hey, I mean, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
And speaking of the names, if I remember correctly, the guy's name is Steve, because of course it's a Steve. Whenever you bring up, like, hey, I don't know what's going on, could you explain things to me? Everyone just goes, oh, you were always such a kidder, Steve. Also, every housewife in the town is the same woman wearing different wigs and a different outfit.
Oh, jeez.
And that's not like a budget cut, it's in story.
Oh, God. Sorry if you hear any background noise. It's my mom yelling at Widget because she's
Okay.
barking. Yes.
Damn, missed it. Yeah, I missed time. I would have died either way if I had tried to land on that platform. Because, you know, fire. Although, there is a way around some of these platforms. This is not cheat. This is part of the level design that's intentional.
Nice.
Yeah, anytime in the, like, Native Fortress levels, like this one, which is called Native Fortress, you see, like, one of the spikes is, kind of, like, you know, flattened off at the top. It means you can jump over it and go into the background. And that's required in one of the levels to get all the crates. Which, I will not be doing for this playthrough. Because I have never legitimately 100%ed the PS1 version of Crash Bandicoot because I'm not a masochist.
Yeah.
Just like when I get to Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time. I will not be 100%ing that because I have better things to do in my life.
Yep.
I have better things to do in my life than spend like upwards of 60 hours, probably more given my lack of skill, grinding platinum relics and insanely perfect relics in order to get like a 20-second cutscene hinting at a sequel that's never going to happen. That I can just look up on YouTube.
Yep. I mean, I got better things to do tonight than die. Let's see.
Or you could go with the age-old, usually always appropriate Ultra Magnus quote that could apply to this situation.
I can't deal with that now.
No. Damn it! Open! Have you ever wondered why there's like a random shit bomb and a random dam every now and then in the Transformers the movie?
From what I understand, it was.
Don't spoil it. I'm saying this more as like, you know, to engage with the audience.
That is fair.
And get some comments in the chat, and or on the YouTube VOD. And also because Miles doesn't know.
Yes, I don't.
When I say the Transformers the movie, I mean the 86 one, not the first Michael Bay movie.
Yes.
They did it so it would get a PG rating, which would mean that parents were more likely to have to go see it with their kids, which meant more tickets sold.
I completely forgot about this mission.
I mean, a lot of the levels in this game blend together. Especially the Native Fortress levels. Fun fact, going back to the discussion of Tawna Bandicoot, did you know that her design was based on a real person? Pamela Anderson.
Makes sense, honestly.
This is the 86 film, right? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. With why they threw in random swears so it would get a PG rating. I fucking hate the grammar bot for this game. I don't know what you mean. You must be pretty far behind if you're just now hearing some things about that. As far as, like, stream lag, I mean.
Yeah, probably.
For Twitch? Okay. I mean, you can swear in my Twitch chat. It's not like this is a Christian stream. You just can't, you know,
It's a Christian.
you swear, you slurs, or, you know,
Yeah.
be hateful. Oh, there's nothing to apologize for. I'm just telling you, like, you don't have to be on your best good boy behavior here. You've seen how unhinged my commentary can get.
Yeah. Just let loose a little.
And I got another bit of interesting Cash Banooca lore for you. Did you know that Crash Bandicoot, for whatever reason, was at the time and always has been insanely popular in Japan for a Western developed game?
About that.
What?
Sorry, I said I feel like I've heard about that.
You probably heard about it from Daddy Caddy.
Probably.
With all the Japanese merch that he showed off.
Yeah.
But it turns out one of the best doggos, Korone from Hololive, is a Crash Bandicoot fan. And when she streamed Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, she got noticed by the people over at Toys for Bob and Activision, and got sent some like promotional merch for it, like a T-shirt and stuff.
Oh wow, nice.
The developers over at id for like Doom 2016 onwards also sent her some stuff because like her Doom streams were unexpectedly popular for, you know, a Japanese person playing Doom, which Doom is historically not all that popular in Japan.
Nope.
Korone's just got, like, really good taste in a lot of stuff, because she likes a lot of things that, as far as, like, Western properties go, she likes a lot of the stuff that never got big in Japan. Like, she's a big South Park fan.
Oh wow.
And, she also got so into Sonic that she's now an official brand ambassador for Sonic Team. And Sonic has historically never been popular in Japan.
That's ironic, honestly.
Yeah, for a Japanese-developed franchise. Although, that's partly because, even though, you know, the original Sonic games were developed in Japan, it was, from the outset, designed to appeal to Westerners. Because Sega was really trying to breach the Western market outside of Europe and Latin America. And by that, I mean the US. That was a market they had never really been able to tap because Nintendo dominated there.
Yeah.
Whereas the reason why Sega was able to dominate in Europe and Latin America was because Nintendo was not successful there at the time. Especially, that's also why the Sega Master System has such a presence in Brazil to this day, where they're still making Sega Master Systems. Like, not clones, actual Sega Master Systems, officially licensed. It's because in Brazil, they have historically had, like, a massive tax on imports for non-essential goods. To the point where, like, you know how people rightfully say that stuff like the PlayStation 5, to give a random example, is too expensive at $500?
Yeah.
With the tariffs that Brazil has on those kind of goods, it would cost over $1,000
Oh, jeez.
for the base PS5, not the Pro.
Oh, boy.
So what Sega did in Brazil back in the days of the Sega Master System and the Sega Genesis was they partnered up with a company native to Brazil called Tectoy and gave them licensing rights to manufacture and distribute Sega games and consoles in Brazil, bypassing the tariffs entirely, because these were now domestically made instead of imported. So, as such, they were able to sell them for cheaper prices. And Tectoy has kept up that license to this day, so they're still making Sega Master Systems over there because they're able to sell them for cheap and people like them.
Oops, you broke it.
Yes, I did break Ripperoo.
Yeah, you did. I remember Ripperoo.
Yeah. Fun fact, have you ever wanted to know where Ripperoo's iconic laugh came from?
I've been wondering about that. Yeah, where is that?
It was from a Disney movie. I want to say Lady and the Tramp, or maybe the Aristocats. I'm not sure. It was a hyena in one scene at like a zoo.
Oh.
And it just became one of those stock sound effects that you would buy on like CDs of stock sound effects for, when you're making stuff.
Oh, wow.
They just use that sound for Ripperoo. That's also why, games like Doom and especially Spyro use so many stock sound effects that you can hear in other games and shows. And it's also why, if you look at, pre-release beta versions of Super Mario 64 from before Charles Martinet had recorded his lines, all of Mario's, damage grunts are old Mel Blanc screams.
Oh, jeez.
Because they were available on stock audio CDs before they decided on who was going to voice Mario. By the way, Chuck, since I got you here in chat, I wanted to say, I do plan on finally paying you for that Studio Series Studio Series Bumblebee Megatron within the coming weeks. I've just had a few other things that I need to put my financials towards, including, getting a new GPU first. So just sometime you could do it right now, or we could do it later, just whenever you think of it or have the time. Send me your PayPal info so I can pay for it, and I'll get it to you probably later this week, if not next week.
Oh, God, why am I so fucking sleepy?
Because you've had a long day?
No, that's the weird thing. I slept a little bit today. I actually slept for about an hour. I don't know, just...
I can tell you that, hour-long naps are actually not good for, energizing you. Studies have shown that, the ideal length for, a power nap for when you want to get a quick burst of energy without resorting to caffeine is about 10 to 20 minutes.
The issue was, I woke up early this morning, so I didn't get enough sleep.
Oh, I getcha.
So I was trying to catch up. There's a certain little...
Well, that could have gone better.
Oh, God.
It's not like I was getting the gem on this stage anyway, because I died already. Thankfully, in the PS1 version of Crash Bandicoot 1, bonus round crates do not count towards the total you have to get the gem. They're completely optional. That's one of the changes that the Insane Trilogy made, was making the bonus rounds mandatory, but at the same time letting you retry them as much as you want. And if you're wondering, why the hell would you want to do the Brio bonus rounds if the boxes for them don't count towards your total? Or, like, you know, stuff like that. It's because they're loaded with extra lives.
I should have held off on putting a link in there for this point in time. I know you were going to say extra live later on, but
well,
whatever.
It doesn't really matter when you put it in there, as long as you put it in there. And that's my advice on. And that's my advice on. You know. That's my nightly relationship advice, everyone. Not at all speaking from experience, but speaking from someone that knows a lot more than I should for not having any experience. See, I caught myself before you could make an innuendo out of it.
I wasn't going to make an innuendo about it. I thought you were going to make an innuendo out of it, but somehow you put it on me.
What did we agree upon for pricing on Megs before shipping? $40. And I'm totally okay with you going with one of the cheaper shipping options that doesn't necessarily get there super quick. Like, it doesn't have to be priority mail. Because it's not like I'm in a rush to get this figure. It's more so I want to pay it off before I forget about it. Like, I won't send the money tonight because I don't get my next bit of money from my dad until Thursday. But I'll try and get it to you sometime this week. Assuming, you know, I don't get a bunch of subscriptions renewing at once that make me have to wait an additional week. He's giving me $50 a week for the next couple months because I'm having to pay back my mom out of my monthly allowance for the next 3 months. And by pay her back, I mean because she had to give me money for a new GPU with money that she didn't have. I'm not getting any of my monthly allowance out of my SSI for 3 months.
Oof.
And, like, when I told my dad about that, he was very understanding, and I love the way he phrased it, which was, I guess that means you don't need food, right? I guess you just don't have to eat. Which, you know, I have food stamps for that, so it's not like I have to worry about going hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, I am trying to not be so fucking hungry myself. Like, actually, I'm, like, just today I decided to, not gorge on, huge amounts of food like I usually do.
That is that I am proud of you for that, because that takes a lot of self-control for anybody who's trying to lose weight.
Yeah. Usually I don't have that much self-control. So, this was something that was,
Like, I can tell you exactly why, people like myself that grew up eating a lot of junk food and still eat probably more than they should of it to this day, eat so much of it in one sitting, and, why we crave it so much. Other than it being cheap and readily available, more so, and taking no prep time, as opposed to like a lot of better, healthier options, which are usually more expensive, more limited in your options if you depending on where you live, and taking like a lot more prep time and a lot more proper storage and all this kind of stuff. Our bodies naturally crave, other than water, we crave fat and salt. And a lot of American cheaper foods, not necessarily just potato chips, but also like a lot of the stuff you find in the frozen food section that is always cheaper than the fresh alternatives, are loaded with fat and sugar. So, since our bodies naturally crave that, and we're getting way more of that in one serving than we would in a natural environment, our bodies kind of get addicted to that large amount of intake of necessary things for survival, and we start just like like you would for a chemical addiction, we start craving more and more.
Yeah, my
and
thing is
when we start trying to cut it out and eat smaller portions to get into a healthier weight, our body treats it as though we are starving ourselves, and tries to hold on to that as much as it can.
Yep. My thing is, like, it was never about like me eating junk food. I always ate like really good food, really healthy food. The problem is, it just it's like I would always.
Well, it doesn't just go for junk food. I'm just talking about that as like a main talking point, but it can also apply to eating large portions or eating frequently. Is that your body becomes used to that routine, and when you try to break out of that routine, it thinks that you're starving when you're actually not.
Yep,
it's true.
Because I've been like for the past 20 plus years, I've been always like, on a seafood diet. I see food, I eat it.
Just DM'd you the email address to my account. Okay, thank you. I need to set up like another PayPal for like getting proper donations through Stream Elements instead, because like it doesn't like working with personal PayPals. It needs business PayPal accounts for those to go through and not get like eaten up and just stuck in limbo. And also so it doesn't have, my real government name publicly viewable to randos on the internet that could potentially do terrible things with it.
Honestly, I think, and I could just be horribly mistaken here, but I think PayPal does allow you to create like a profile on your main PayPal account.
Oh yeah,
for business.
Yeah, it does. It's just I haven't set it up.
Oh, I see.
I've just been putting it off for years. Chuck said, JKR, that is a shellfish way of eating. You get it, shellfish, because you were on a seafood diet?
I get it. I was just not going to acknowledge it.
That's cold.
How bad... This is how bad that was. I know mine was bad, but that was just like...
I got one for you, and I get to say this because I am part of this demographic. And no, it's not going to get me TOS banned. It's not anything involving stereotypes. It's just a pun. What do you call a plus-size psychic?
I don't know what.
An extra large medium. You know that it's funny, you just don't want to admit it.
I admit nothing. It was not as funny as you make it think. You think it is, Ari?
Yeah, it's one of those jokes that's so unfunny it becomes funnier the more you deny that it's funny. I gotta check the splash of whenever someone throws a pie at me so I can see what kind of pie is being thrown at me. Basically, I want to know if whether I can keep getting away with jokes about people cream pieing me on stream.
Which one of us, Chuck? You say go to your room. Which one of us?
Yes. All three of us, including Miles, who didn't say or do anything wrong.
I'm innocent in this conversation.
Well,
He's
keep
guilty
in
by
mind, being an accomplice to a crime is still a crime.
Fuck, you're right.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, you see how this game showers you with lives, right? I've got 72 now. And I'm not even halfway through the game.
I think isn't the max amount of lives like 99? I don't know.
Yeah, it's 99 in all the Crash games. They never made a 3-digit counter for it, so it always topped out at 99.
I figured. I couldn't remember for sure. Ooh.
Yeah, I shouldn't have spun that away.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say. You know what they say about accidentally spinning away a turtle that you needed to jump across a pit. Spin!
Oh, you want to spin, eh?
Especially since we know that I figured out how to get the spin to work on the 2D model. Yes, I would like to go for a spin.
Your wish is my command.
It turns out all I had to do to get that to work in 2D was untick the box that said always face the camera.
And now you know.
And knowing is half the battle. The other half is what I would call war crimes if it weren't for the fact that they're rarely, if ever, prosecuted. It's like family rival Dracula always says. A crime isn't a crime if you're not prosecuted for it. You know, in between his ramblings about how this shit ain't nothing to me, man. Dracula hasn't been the same since the Battle of 1999.
Remind me, what was that?
It's in Castlevania lore. It is the battle that permanently defeated Dracula once and for all.
Ah, yes.
It never plays out in any of the games, but it's referenced in the Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow duology as a part of the lore that sets up their stories. It was basically a big war between the vampire hunters and Dracula's forces in the year 1999 that led to Dracula being broken out of his, resurrection cycle permanently, and led to Castlevania being sealed within a solar eclipse that only happens once every, 50 years, I think. But they weren't able to kill Dracula's spirit because he reincarnated himself as the protagonist of the Sorrow duology, Soma Cruz. No pants, I wonder who's to blame, says Kier. I don't know, who is to blame? Oh, you playing OG Crash? Yes, that's why I put PS1 in the title.
But yeah, Kier, I did ship out the Starscream. Unfortunately, as I said in the DMs, for whatever reason, I guess he's just going to be coming into your place on Thursday. And I'm sorry about that, Kier. I was really hoping for it to be there on a day you didn't have to work.
You shouldn't apologize for that. You should apologize for stealing his pants again.
Jeez, man, you're stealing people's pants.
He keeps doing
I
that
didn't
only to
steal
Kier.
Poor Kier.
I don't know why it's
Kier's
Kier's pants
apparently-
that I don't know why it's Kier's pants that are so special to him.
I don't care about Kier's pants.
So you so you steal them despite not even really wanting them? What are you, a kleptomaniac
No.
or something?
No,
Ari.
I don't steal. I didn't steal his pants. Period.
Ari, he wants them for the infinite power that they possess, like the freaking parody.
Like the Pharaoh's leather pants.
yes.
What?
Jesus!
What
Oh,
else is
shit, you
pants?
died, bro. What the hell?
Dude, the static is
What was
back.
that?
Oh shit!
I got you in my ears.
I love that the static came in right as you started getting grumpy and right as I died. That's comedic timing you can't write.
All because of the Pharaoh's leather pants.
All because of the Pharaoh's leather pants!
I still watch that once in a while.
Actually, remember, technically the leather pants were not the source of his ultimate power.
Those are shoes.
Yeah, it was his leather shoes. They had a whole song and dance number about the leather pants, and it turned out that the leather pants weren't actually powerful. They were just your average leather pants, although pretty nice leather pants.
I wanted to make a joke saying I think that JKR was fighting his Brooklyn rage.
He was fighting his Brooklyn Rage. Brooklyn Rage. I've forgotten how to do the Joey voice. I keep slipping into like Australian Merrick.
I'm sure everyone's
Yeah.
like, what the heck is with all this?
Can't beat my, no you can't beat my Brooklyn Rage. I don't wanna be a furry. There we go.
That's not gonna get you copyrighted, right?
No.
Okay, good. I still remember the leather pants though from the first time I was like watching it.
I can't watch the, well, I've never liked the Shady Vox remix of, Leather Pants, but I especially can't watch it now after knowing that Shady Vox ended up becoming, like, a total chud.
Yeah,
And, is no longer friends with, anyone in the abridging community.
How about now? That better?
That's much better.
I don't know what happened. I guess I must have bumped the cord while I was running my phone off its stand.
If it, like, if it does end up being a problem with the mic itself, and you're looking to get a mic to replace it, I can give you some recommendations that are not like, you know, bank-breaking expensive.
Yeah, I appreciate
The good
that,
thing
Ari.
is that XLR mics of good quality tend to be cheaper than USB mics of comparable quality.
Okay.
Like, it's not like I'm going to say, like, you need a Shure SM7B in order to, replace that, because a Shure SM7B is, like, what they use for, like, professional podcasts, and you're not doing that. Because, like, when I say professional podcasts, I don't mean, like, you know, the two bros hanging out at home doing it. I'm talking about, like, having a studio space reserved.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I believe Rode makes a, pretty good quality entry-level dynamic mic, called the Rodecaster.
Huh? Yeah, I'll definitely look into that.
The Roadcaster. Remember that, the Roadcaster, not to be confused with the Shockmaster. Joey Wheeler from Brooklyn, Japan. Hey, 69, nice. 69 lives. I cannot get any more or lose one, or else this will be ruined for... It will be... I will have soiled it. Soiled it. Soiled it. Just like I can't play another hour of Marvel Spider-Man Remastered without ruining my perfect 69 hours of playtime on Steam. Although technically I will have to because we're in the end game. You missed out on some big plot developments, Miles. But the VOD will be up tomorrow, so you can view it then.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, you missed out on the formation of the Sinister Six and the defeat of, well, in order, the defeat of Mr. Negative and the formation of the Sinister Six.
Seriously?
Yes. Basically, we're entering Act 3, which is the finale of the game.
Okay, that's good.
Like, to get you a little caught up, you know, I still recommend watching the VOD, not just to get my, to boost me with the Elder God algorithm, and to leave comments on it to further boost me. But I also say, I say this, you know, to give you a little condensed, explanation. Mr. Negative was defeated, and, the day was saved, but, Otto perfected, in his view, his robotic arms, which are the traditional Dr. Octopus tentacle arms, and has them working with a with like a neural interface that's connected directly to his nervous system, surgically.
Okay.
And it is not isolated from just his motor cortex, so it's also affecting, you know, other parts of his brain and fucking up his personality and making him very prone to rage. And as a result of, you know, seeing more stuff reminding him of Norman, who has screwed him over at every turn, taking credit for stopping Mr. Negative when it was Mr. Negative wanting to get a hold of a bioweapon that Norman's people created in the first place. He basically declared war on Norman Osborn and his legacy and the people of New York City that keep electing him as mayor and worshiping him so much, by becoming a supervillain, breaking all the other supervillains out of the Raft, which is a high-security prison off the coast of Rikers Island, and specifically breaking out Mr. Negative as one of them, right after he went into prison, Rhino, Electro, Vulture, and Scorpion. And they formed the Sinister Six, and he stole the Devil's Breath bioweapon that's been sort of the MacGuffin for this story, and unleashed it on New York and caused, you know, a massive death toll from people being exposed to this airborne bioweapon.
Jeez.
And that's where we left off. Oh, and the reveal that it looks like Aunt May, who is helping out with, you know, volunteering to help out the people who are infected, it looks like she's infected with it too.
Oh no. Not Aunt May.
So yeah, it's basically an apocalyptic scenario that, due to Otto's short-sightedness, this bioweapon's not just going to cover New York, it's going to cover the entire eastern seaboard. And then, spread further because it's airborne.
Oh man, it's gonna go everywhere eventually.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they need to find a way to stop it now that it's been unleashed. And, stop the Sinister Six.
Someone said Senator Six.
Senator Six. The successor to Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising.
Done. Yeah, I don't see this going well. Oh.
JKR, did you hear our jokes about Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged?
I didn't know. I had my headphones partially off.
How dare. We had so many good jokes about it, and...
All right, we got the key. There are 2 Cortex bonus stages in the game. Completing each one gives you a key, which unlocks a secret level for each one. Which the secret level that I unlocked from this one is the only other boar riding stage in this game. It's weird to think that, the Crash Bandicoot tradition of animal riding stages in the debut Crash Bandicoot game only has 2, and one of them's optional. Optional unless you're going for 100% completion, of course. Which, as previously stated, I am not. Because as previously stated again, I am not a masochist. I may be a switch, but that doesn't mean I'm a masochist.
Yeah, around 9 o'clock I am going to have to hop off, though, because I, once again, have to be up early for class, because I got class at 11.
That's understandable. This probably isn't going to be one of my longer streams anyway. Definitely
That's
not
fair.
like last night. Partly because this is a pretty short game, and partly because I am pretty tired today from, the marathon that was last night's stream. It went on for like 5 hours, Miles.
Jeez.
Hey, Lulu, how you doing? Are you and Nico going to be able to make it to this Saturday's affiliate anniversary special as co-commentators? You just had hamburgers, and yes, I see you too had some steamed hams today. That's what I call hamburgers.
You call hamburgers steamed hams?
Yes, it's a regional dialect.
Yeah? What region?
Upstate New York?
Really? Well, I'm from Utica, and I've never heard anybody use the phrase steamed hams.
Oh, not in Utica, no, it's an Albany expression.
I see. Yep.
Anyway, time to fight Koala Kong. By the way, did you know that Koala Kong's Where Are They Now ending implies that he's supposed to, if he were to speak in any of these games, he would sound like Sylvester Stallone? We did had cheeseburgers. Ah, so you had a cheesed ham.
A cheesed ham.
Yeah, these hamburgers are quite similar to the ones they have over at Krusty Burger.
No, no. Patented Ari burgers. Old family recipe.
For steamed hams.
Yes.
Yes, you call them steamed hams despite the fact they were obviously grilled.
You know, one thing I should... Excuse me for 1 second.
Of course.
Ah, well, that was wonderful. Good time was had by all. I'm pooped.
Yes, I should be. Good lord, what is happening in there?
Aurora Borealis?
Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, and in this part of the country, localized entirely within your stream.
Yes.
May I see it?
No. If only we had Jana here as the official voice of Ariana, my canonical love interest, to say, Ari, the house is on fire! Ari, the castle's on fire! No, no, honey, it's just the northern lights.
Well, Ari, I must say you're an odd fellow, but I must say, you seem a good ham.
How do you beat this boss? When he throws the heavy boulder that, takes a bit for him to throw, and it stays in place, you spin it back at him, but you have to time it so it doesn't hit any of the mine carts. It's pretty easy. I'm just off my game tonight, and I'm also not very good at the original Crash Bandicoot to begin with.
Fucker.
I would rather not fuck Lulu. She's spoken for.
I wasn't
You said
talking about Lulu, I was just saying.
You said fucker.
No, I said you motherfucker.
Well, Discord didn't pick up any of that except for fucker.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, okay, fair, but I said you motherfucker. I was talking about Koala Kong.
Oh, it just came out as fucker.
I was gonna say, do you want something with Koala Kong? Because damn, man.
Get your head out of the gutter, Miles.
That would also
Yeah,
imply that Koala Kong is either transgender or a very muscly woman.
I mean, we don't know.
I mean, are we headcanoning that Koala Kong is a muscle mommy?
I mean, freaking JKR is the one that's talking about that type of stuff now in the beginning. So it's up to JKR.
Hey,
Good lord, no, I'm not free for polycule. Exactly.
Like, all I said was, you motherfucker, and I was...
Yes, and all that Discord picked up was fucker. Was fucker right after I was talking to Lulu.
Yeah, well, like, seriously, though, all I said was, you motherfucker.
Happy Pride Month? Yes, happy Pride Month. Koala Kong is now canonically gender non-conforming at the very least, and goes by she, her pronouns for the sake of this joke.
Yes.
And is a muscle mommy.
The joke that unfortunately was created because JKR said you motherfucker to the
I hated the sound of that, but thank you. I don't know why the sound effect for throwing boba tea at me in Vignon is the sound of a fart. I hate that Suvidriel, the developer, went with that. But at the same time, I love her for doing that because it means you guys have something to randomly torment me with whenever it pops up. You know what they say? Bully the streamer. Or you know what Psionic Hex always says, but hasn't said in a while? Bully the vampire. I just hydrated, but I will hydrate again. I'll lubricate my throat for you, Lulu. There we go. Aha, secret path. I always, I kinda know my way around this level, but there are some parts of it that I forget the layout of. Because again, I don't go back and play Crash 1 nearly as much as I do Crash 2 and 3. Crash 3 being the one I go back to the most, because it was one of the first video games I ever owned. I got it from my dad's, at the time, girlfriend's son, as part of a gift from, you know, that whole family, including my dad, of my PS1, which they bundled it with Tarzan for the PS1, as well as giving me a Game Boy Color with the Game Boy Color version of Tarzan. And he decided, like, the kid, can't remember his name, Mauricio, that was his name, threw in his copy of Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Yes.
As well as his copy of Cool Borders 2.
I honestly thought this was going to be like name him and shame him sort of thing.
I mean, I will name him and shame him for the fact that, you know that story I told about how, like, some kids, like, when I was real little, abandoned me in, like, the, like, massive parking lot of the apartment complex for the condo that, my dad was living in at the time, and just kind of left me to my own devices to find my way back to my dad's apartment. That was him. That was Mauricio. That's the name for the shame.
Oh, joy.
They did it as a joke, and...
Not a very funny one.
Not a very funny one, and they didn't get in trouble for it. Because I didn't snitch.
No. Yeah, because I know snitches get stitches and all that bullshit.
Well, no, it's because at the time I hadn't learned how to stand up for myself.
Yeah.
I'm still learning that, to be honest. I'm an ally to the community,
fair.
says Lulu. Allies are appreciated during Pride Month. There's a reason that, there's 2 A's in the full, abbreviation for the LGBT community, which is LGBTQIAA. One of the A's, depending on who you ask, but commonly accepted as a valid way of interpreting it, is ally. Although more often it's asexual and aromantic.
I mean, hey, you know, Lulu's in good company on the fact that we're both allies there. So, like, I'm the kind of person that's like, I don't care what you identify as. I don't care if you want to identify as a female or male. I don't care. Just as long as you don't be an ass about it. That's all I care.
And yeah, allies are definitely appreciated, especially in the current socio-political landscape.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all I will say about that for right now.
Yes. Don't want to get canceled by, someone who disagrees.
At the very least, I don't want to be, targeted by people like Rev Says Desu that intentionally go after small content creators who are in the LGBT community and say, like, look at this person who's a freak and is grooming minors when they're not at all interacting with minors just because they say that trans people are valid. And then when you call them out for sending their fans to hate brigade you and send you death threats and dox you, they say, well, I never told my community to do that, so it's not my fault.
Yeah.
Ignoring the common adage of you are responsible for the community you cultivate.
Exactly.
You don't see many allies out there these days. It depends on where you live, really. and also, what circles you're in as far as, like, local and online communities. I see a lot of allies in some parts of my home state, whereas, like, where I currently am now is, like, very heavily, like, conservative country. So there's not as many, like, outward allies here. Thankfully, I haven't run into a whole bunch of, hateful bigots or anything like that. The kind that'll actively, like, try and lynch people for being gay or trans or something. But, the more traditional kind of, hateful bigot, where it's like, oh, you poor soul, I'll pray for you to find Jeebus. Whereas the Jesus that they're talking about would hate them.
Yep. Oh, jeez. Excuse me.
And I am finally able to save my game again, so I can have a
Yay.
good stopping point for tonight.
Oh, good.
Yay!
However.
Yeah, not particularly long stream, less than 2 hours this time, but I was more tired than I expected. And also, this game's pretty short, so next time we stream Crash Bandicoot, we should be able to finish it and then move on to Crash 2.
Nice.
Which, Crash 2 will be significantly longer, because I will actually be going for 100% in that one, because I've done it before, and have a general vibe of how to do it. Let us see who we're going to be raiding tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, says Lulu. I will definitely see you tomorrow. Oh, there's the Crash Bandicoot Maverick meme. I love that. It's also a good sprite for a good SNES-styled sprite for Crash Bandicoot. Crash is a design I've noticed doesn't translate to 2D sprites very well, even in official 2D side-scrolling, like, handheld Crash games. A lot of the sprites don't look all that great, so that's a very good one, especially, adhering to the X1 art style. I could gush about that all night, and I probably will if I don't wrap things up here. We are going to raid... Yap Alonso, who is going for 100% run of Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards.
Nice.
And they've only been live for a couple minutes, so hopefully this should be a pleasant surprise for them. They've been a good supporter of the channel whenever they're able to, and just generally a pleasant person from my interactions with them. Thank you very much to everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you to Miles and JKR for co-hosting tonight. I'll see you guys on Wednesday with a return to the Danganronpa fan dub. Go give Yap Alonso my warmest welcomes and Pride Month well wishes. Until then, unpleasant dreams.
Well, we're the boys of Colorado.
You started too early.
Well, fuck. Fuck, it's too late. Ruined. You threw off a groove.
I'm sorry, but you've thrown off the Jaker's groove. Sorry! Good night, everybody. Oh, God, my voice cracked there.